think I'll do anything with Pat, pretty much. I trust her as an artist. I always said that if I was going to be someone else than Karin Broker, that I needed to be Louise Bourgeois or Pat Bellan-Gillen.
Karin and I, our relationship goes back a very long time ago. We met almost 50 years ago now. This is the first exhibit that Karin and I have done together, even though it's been a goal since, I think, 1978. We really began to talk about it.
I see it as me being the screamer and Pat being the whisperer. When I see her pieces, I don't see them as screaming. I see them as these beautiful drawings that just drag me in. And for me, I am screaming. I am old enough to have the right to scream. I want women to be empowered. We both deal in beautiful. There's no doubt about it. I want you to look at something I make and think, wow, that's really beautiful, right?
The title Screams and Whispers, a lot of people who know us would probably even say, well, that might even describe the two of you. I've had a number of people say, which one are you? and I said, I really can't answer that. It's based in our passion for social causes, for history, and for feminist issues, that there's sometimes to scream and then there's sometimes to whisper, to really get a message across to someone, to get something done. So I think it plays off of an old Ingmar Bergman movie, Cries and Whispers, but we needed something a little bit more powerful than cries, so we went to Screams and Whispers. I think there's a bit of a quietness to my drawings, that even as much information is in them, there are parts of them that are a little bit bolder, that might be pushing the imagery forward, but there's a lot of hidden symbolism that's done almost in a quiet drawing style. I think my drawings are a mixture of bold and sensitive, I hope, and I think that relates to the theme quite well, that neither one of us I see as 100% screamer or whisperer, or any one piece in here is either or. I think every piece in this show, I think, confronts you with elegance at first, or at least I hope they do, and that elegance, or the formal abstract shape of each piece in the show, quietly brings you in, and then when you come in and you begin to look at the details that are in the pieces, I think that brings you into something that's a little bit more possibly message-driven, quieter, and some louder areas. Maybe we could have even added something about humor to the title too, because I think almost every piece, no matter how serious, especially for me, no matter how serious the historical issue I'm working with appears or is to me, I see humor as sort of a relief to kind of soothe the message, and also, again, to bring the viewer in. And I think Karin's work has that too. I mean, when you first come up and you kind of see the baby shoes mixed in with the buttons, there's something very quiet and elegant and everyday. And then when they're all put together, there's a beauty and a power that grabs and holds the viewer.
It's definitely, I think, going to be hard for people to see a connection between Pat and my work other than detail. I think that's the general run-of-the-mill kind of idea going on. And I think with Pat, they need to look at that beauty and then do research. Mine are more pissed off. Mine are, I want you to believe that they're beautiful, but you cannot look at the woman holding the babies in her arms, proud as she is, because there are women that say, yeah, okay, I've got 5 kids, I've got 6 kids, I can do this, right?
I think the last statement that I always make in my proverbial artist statement is I put a lot of trust in the viewer. And I hope the viewer, first of all, brings something to the work. But I would like everybody to take away maybe something different. They're not going to decipher all of the imagery and the symbolism and the references in my drawings to come back and say, this is the story she's telling. But I hope each image, the Alice in Wonderland rabbit or Alice in Wonderland herself, or in this piece that we can see in the background, the carpenter and the walrus, that everybody might have their own personal reaction or connection to that image. And so I think my biggest hope is that people will give them enough time and think about the pieces to come up with their own memories or their own stories. But I think for me the most important thing is everybody should and could come away with something different.